Greetings, everyone, Recess customers. My name is T Banks. I am one of the partners, one of 8 partners who host Recess Getaways every year. And I want to say a shout out to all my partners. Wanted to take a quick second, just bear with me for about 5 minutes, answer questions that we've gotten. The reason I wanted to do a video is because sometimes I don't think emails always convey the right message. So that's what we're going to do today, just give you a quick update with some information. So anyone that you know that is coming, that is a paid customer on the trip, make sure you talk to them about it. You guys get any questions at the end, I'll give you information on how to get those questions over. So the first point is that just like everyone else, we were highly disappointed that we're not going to have the trip. We felt that this year was going to be epic because every year you can ask any vets, you can look at the pictures, you can look at the videos, the trip gets better and better. We picked a smaller resort this year for a more intimate atmosphere because the last resort, not that nothing was wrong, but it was just huge. So we wanted something more intimate. We also picked a new system that we use for credit card payments, and that was working out. There were a few kinks, but it was the first year, but people overall really enjoyed the new system. This year, we also had more people that were paid in full. You know, most people in years past were on the payment plan. But this year, a lot of people just say, hey, just write the check. I'm in. I'm with you guys. I trust Recess. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. Thank you for everyone that, even if you're on payment plan or you paid in full, just thank you for the continued support. So the first question that we got was, why weren't there as many video updates this year as there were last year? And because I was posting weekly as we were going to DR, updates on what's going on, what are we talking to the property about, what are we doing to make sure you're safe. I didn't do that this year because in the Facebook group, we have close to 130,000 people. Well, we only have 800 people going. So I don't have the energy to talk to people who aren't going. Last year, I promise you, there were so many times that I would spend hours talking to people about the trip. And then I go back and check the manifest and cross-reference, and they weren't even coming on the trip. So that was tough for me. I got into a huge argument with these 4 girls, and they weren't even coming on the trip. I'm like, why did I just spend a day talking to you, not even coming? And then there was a guy who every day was like, you guys are wrong. They're killing black people in Dominican Republic. You shouldn't go there. And I checked, and he wasn't even a paid customer. So I decided I'm not doing that again. I don't want to sit around and talk to people about the trip who aren't coming on the trip. If you want to discuss the trip with people who are coming, that's up to you. But I don't have the energy to talk to people who aren't coming. So that was the reason we did not do as many video updates. Second question that we've got is the refund policy. I know a lot of people's like, hey, without having information, just shoot me a refund. And I talked to, I guess, about 7 people so far who've given me a really good insight as to their opinion. And once I explained it, they understood. There's a guy, I guess I shouldn't call customers names, but there's a guy said, hey, I wanted a refund, but now that you've explained it, I'm rocking with you. It makes sense. But not speaking to a live person made it kind of challenging to not ask for a refund. So the way our refund policy is, and everyone knows, it was set on March 1st, okay? The reason we set our refund policy at March 1st, because it coincides with the contract that we have with the resort, okay? Now, that way on March 1st, they know that they're going to get their money. We know who's in, who's out. So we paid them. And if anything goes wrong with the trip, per our contract, we have the right to postpone. Not that they were going to give us refunds. So it was going to be kind of hard to transfer them basically $600,000. Oh, yeah, hey, send them all the money back. It just doesn't work that way when you're dealing with group travel. So they have allowed us to postpone. But that was why, because we've already paid the hotel and we've already paid staff. So we've been paying staff for the last year to make the trip happen. The partners haven't asked for a dime, but we have to pay the staff. So that's why the refund policy was there, because we've already paid the hotel, okay? So they are allowing us to postpone. So mid-March, all this COVID stuff hits, and we were caught off guard. Like, what do we do? Do we just postpone? Do we cancel? What do we do? And initially, we was like, hey, we want to push this thing back to September. We'll push it back a few months. Everybody gonna still rock with us. We good. Well, we have 3 guys who are firefighters. Rob, Dexter, and Eric are all firefighters. So they're on the front lines as partners of seeing how this thing affects the community. They obviously talk to nurses, doctors, they're first responders. So they get to deal with this. And there was a report that came to them, and that there's an assumption that this thing is going to re-emerge in the fall. So we went from, hey, let's do it in September, Labor Day weekend. It was like, push it back a little bit. Then we said January, okay? Really, I like January because I'm like, man, this thing will be over and everybody's going to have cabin fever. Everybody's going to want to get out. Then we said February for Super Bowl weekend or what's the other weekend? Super Bowl or All-Star weekend. We decided not to do any of those. And the reason why is even when we started talking to people about the vacation time, they wouldn't be able to get another vacation week that close. So we decided to push it back until next summer. And in talking to people, that was probably the safest bet because it'll give people time to kind of prepare for next summer. So right now, it has been postponed until June of 2021, okay? We're just postponing the trip. Now, if you are a paid customer, say you're paid in full. If you're paid in full and the new date does not work for you, and pay attention, I'm not giving the new date because I haven't gotten it in writing from the hotel. It's verbal. They've given us a verbal agreement, but they have not sent it over to me to sign off on with their signature on it as well, okay? So June 2021, work with me, that's when it's rescheduled to, okay? Now let's say that date does not work for you and you're a paid in full customer. We are working with the resort as well to get you a voucher. Say, I don't want to do the 2020. I want to go ahead and go in September, okay? Hey, you can go. We'll get you a voucher. If you paid in full for 4 nights, we'll get you your 4 nights. Just that simple, okay? So that was why we had to postpone. We just felt it was in the best interest in the safety. This is different from last year with DR. This is a virus. This isn't the rumors about don't drink the alcohol. It's totally different, okay? And if y'all notice anything about DR, why were they killing black folks in DR and then all of a sudden it just stopped? Think about it. Okay. So now, another question that we've gotten is, are we having recess in the States? A lot of people are like, well, they're not going to do it out of the country. They're going to move it somewhere here in the States. No. What we're planning to do is still do a recess event. Not our main trip, but do something in the States, whether it be Houston, Atlanta, Miami, hell, even Nashville, where I am, is do something where we can say, hey, we don't have the big trip, with this whole COVID thing, but when this thing clears up, we're going to try to plan an event, small event, obviously, somewhere that we can go, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like a 3-day trip for our customers to go. So last thing, I want you guys to be able to contact me. I'm going to give you guys my number, and you can feel free to call me through the 17th of this month. So that gives us about a week. You can call me personally. If this video does not answer your questions, my number is 615-266-6812. That's 615-266-6812. You can call me between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Central Standard Time any day from now through the 17th. If this message does not answer your questions, and I know sometimes people like me, I like to speak to a live person sometimes and not necessarily just email. So the reason we've done in the past, go to our site and the customer service site. I think it's recessgetaways.com/customer service. But the reason we've done email, email is because that's how we're able to track. You'll be surprised that people will say one thing and we go back on the email and it's totally different than what they said in the email, okay? So we literally have people say, well, I can tell you guys stories. We even had a lady that said she paid in full, showed up at one of our trips last year, showed up at the resort. We didn't have her. She said, well, I paid in full, and I got an email saying I was paid in full. You sure? We pull up the email. Ma'am, you paid your deposit of $199. You didn't pay for the trip, and now you come out of the country all the way to Dominican, and you haven't paid anything, so we don't have a room for you. You have to deal with the hotel at this point because you're not on our list. So that's why we're asking people to do that. So that's it. I hope you guys understood everything that I just said. My number, you can call me, or you can just go to the customer service site, send in something. So look forward to hearing from you. Anything else comes up, stay safe, stay socially distant, And we'll talk to you soon. Peace. Recess Getaways.